And some people are starting to say that woke is dead. In fact, we see posts like this and we see articles like this, where I'll pull it up, where Donald Trump seems to have won when it comes to, this is out of the Post Millennial. Brown University makes a deal with Trump to regain federal funding and will pay $50 million in scrap affirmative action. So Brown University has struck a deal with the White House to restore its funding. Let me make sure this works correctly. I don't know why here we go. Let's just make this full screen. Maybe that's my issue. Here we go. And end federal investigations into the school over noncompliance with civil rights and discrimination laws. The university will also pay $50 million for workforce development, among other stipulations. Congrats to Brown University on the settlement made with the United States government. There will be no more anti-Semitism, anti-Christian, anti-anything else. Woke is officially dead at Brown. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's what Trump had to say. In addition to the $50 million, Brown has vowed to protect women's sports facilities by disallowing trans-identified males from women's sex-segregated sports spaces. The Brown University health system will also stop providing medical sex changes to minors, including no longer prescribing puberty blockers. We can take a look and a listen to this video here once it loads in my next tab. Brown will also disband programs that contain unlawful efforts to achieve race-based outcomes, as well as establish merit-based admissions policies for the schools and scrap affirmative action practices. A lot of this is coming from Secretary Linda McMahon. Let's take a look and a listen right here to the video from Newsmax that kind of talks about this a little bit more from Linda McMahon herself.
Yeah, we definitely are. I mean, we've had 3 great triumphs, I think. If you look at Columbia, that was, I think, the biggest deal that we announced. They will pay a $200 million fine and then a $20 million fine that'll go into, a fund to pay for, those were abuses in hiring. And so that was an incredibly big deal at Columbia. And it also dealt with having protests on campuses. You can protest as long as you have peaceful protests, but you can't wear masks. If you have to wear a mask for religious purposes, then you have to have your ID that you've been willing to show. And there were just many parts of that Columbia deal that I hope will become the template for others. We're still negotiating with Harvard, but we also had a great success, with University of Pennsylvania in getting rid of the Title IX violations, and they apologized to the women whose title was taken away. They took the title away from Leah Thomas, the man who was competing in women's swimming. So we've had some really big successes, not only with Columbia, with University of Pennsylvania, and then yesterday signing the Brown University deal, in which they also are paying a fine of $50 million. As you mentioned earlier, Mark, they will be investing that money on workforce development programs in the state. They also have agreed on the Title IX. And defining women as women and men as men. So these are really big accomplishments for 3 big universities where, as I say, I'm hoping Harvard is going to stay at the table for negotiations. Yeah. And then we have several other investigations going on as well. But these are big wins.
And we see them as big wins. And I'm thankful for Linda McMahon and the Trump administration for their work on things like that. And obviously college campuses hold a near and dear place to my heart, as that's where I kind of got my start in all my activism. I was on the college campus of Illinois State University, but right across the cornfield, we had just yesterday caught on camera, the University of Iowa was recorded in an undercover video bragging about how she and others at the school have been taking steps to operate around the federal DEI bans. Take a look and a listen to this clip from Fox News.
I want to say maybe February, March. Our communications person came in and was like, hey, we have to redo our websites per the regents to take off diversity, equity, inclusion, anything like that, any buzzwords. So they swept our websites. So it's not there anymore. So it's not there, but we are essentially finding ways to operate around it. So that was our solution. We were like, oh, okay, we can't use that word. Okay, civic engagement. I think that's a lot of what we're doing is like, it's like, oh, okay, we're not allowed to use this word. Okay, we're just going to do this. So yeah, that's why you're not going to see DEI listed on any University of Iowa website, but there have been transitions and things that they've done, so they're not like getting rid of certain things. On behalf of my office, we're still going to talk about DEI. We're still going to do all the DEI things. Like my assistant dean is a Black woman, and I could not imagine her being like, okay, guys, yeah, we're just not going to talk about DEI anymore. I will say personally, like, I am proud of the fight, even if you aren't seeing it on some big like email chain or something like that. Like for me, the fact that like it didn't happen until this last spring, to me, it has said a lot.
So while it's great to see that the Trump administration seems to be making strides in terms of the policy happening at our educational institutions, we must remember promises made are not always promises kept. And even promises made can have crossed fingers while the handshake is done. And it would seem state institutions, state-funded institutions like University of Iowa are still adhering and still administering their brainwashing DEI tactics just under the guise of new names, such as civic engagement. And so that's why when we talk about this DEI and woke being dead, woke is not dead. It's on life support. But as Trump has said, woke is dead. No, it's not. It's on life support and just waiting for the next person to come up, put in the bike tire pump, and blow up its resources once again. To truly make woke dead, to truly get through that, will never probably happen. But if we wanted to get it as close as possible, it would come with firing every person like this and replacing them with somebody who is deliberately pro-tradition. And I say pro-tradition instead of anti-woke because woke is truly just the rejecting of tradition. And instead of just being anti-woke, instead of being contrarian, be pro-tradition. And that is how you truly kill woke. And so while we're seeing strides, we're taking strides with traditional fitness, we're taking strides with traditional attractiveness in terms of our advertising. We still have a ways to go as it pertains to our political and not just political, our educational institutions.